Do we need money to preach the gospel today? Is it a requirement? The answer is no. When Abraham heard the gospel, who preached it to him? It was the scripture that preached the gospel message to Abraham. No money was required. Not even the help of man was required. Now, today, people say that without your generous giving or money, they cannot continue to preach the gospel. And how terrible this kind of saying is. What then do we need to preach the gospel? We need the gospel message itself according to scripture, meaning we are going to need the grace of God, and that God give us a mouth that we might be able to speak oracles of God, that is speaking according to what is written, and speaking it and doing all things according to the ability that God himself gives, so that God will be glorified through Jesus Christ. This is what is needed today to preach the gospel. We need the gospel message itself, and that God give us utterance and open our mouth boldly to make known the gospel of Christ, that we might speak it boldly as we ought to speak. This is a requirement. Do you have that message? And do you have a mouth? Do you have the grace of God? None of these things can money buy. If we're going to preach the gospel today, what do we need? Well, if we're going to preach the gospel of Christ, we will certainly need the testimony of Jesus Christ, because this is that spirit of prophecy. What we are saying today is not good. The gospel does not need money to preach it. If you yourself have a need, then say, I have this need. Don't say without your money, we cannot preach the gospel. This is foolishness. Even Paul didn't say this. Jesus Christ didn't say this. Those in scriptures never spoke this way. Paul said, I have fully preached the gospel of Christ from Jerusalem round about Illyricum. How did he preach it? With money as a requirement, and without people's donation, he couldn't. No, he said he did it through mighty signs and wonders by power of the Spirit of God. People of God, we have to stop these things. It is iniquity.